Good morning once again. After 2 days gap, I'm with you to teach social studies, chapter number 18. And what is the name of the chapter? Natural resources, minerals, energy, plants and wildlife. Today we are going to learn about some other natural resources. In chapter number 17, what did we learn? We learned about land, soil and water. Yes or no? Yes. Today we will learn about minerals, energy, plants and wildlife. We will not complete the whole part today. We are going to part number 1 only. We will see minerals. Minerals are natural resources. So shall we start? Yes. Let us learn about now minerals. You know that the country's development depends upon the availability of the minerals. There are various types of minerals which have been used in our day-to-day activities, like making utensils, nails, wires, machines, implements, tools, everything. Even our building, everything have been used with one or the other minerals. Okay, our civilization has developed, and we have given the name copper age, bronze age, iron age, atomic age in this way, which means that the minerals have certain importance in the human life. Okay, now we will learn about the definition and properties of minerals. What are minerals? Minerals are inorganic substances which are a combination of more than one elements. Okay, each mineral has a definite chemical composition. The mineral, these inorganic substances, they are a combination of many elements and they have a definite chemical composition, and they are identified on the basis of their physical and chemical properties. What do you mean by physical property? Color and hardness. Clear now? And what is their chemical property? Solubility is a chemical. It is an example of chemical property. On the basis of this physical and chemical properties, they are identified. So what are minerals? They are the inorganic substances which are a combination of more than one element, and they have a chemical. Each mineral has a definite chemical composition. They are identified on the basis of physical and chemical properties. Right? Now we are moving to classify the minerals. What are the different groups of minerals? Have a look now. Minerals are classified on the basis of their physical and chemical characteristics, use and origin. 3 bases are there. Number 1, physical and chemical characteristics. Number 2, their use. Number 3, their origin. They may be either metallic or non-metallic. The minerals can be metallic minerals or non-metallic minerals. What are metallic minerals? They are those from which metals such as iron, silver, gold, copper, etc. are derived. There are some minerals from which we can produce the metals are known as metallic minerals. Metals are strong, ductile, good conductor of heat and electricity, opaque to visible light, and reflective after polishing. What are the features of metals? They are strong, they are ductile. What is ductility? It is the ability of a metal to be drawn into thin wire without breaking. These metals can be made into thin wire, they will not break. Okay, then they are good conductors of heat and electricity. They are opaque, means we cannot see them, there is no visibility in light, visibility without light. Then they don't allow light to pass through. Then they are reflective after polishing. These are the features of metallic minerals. These metallic minerals are mostly found in nature as ores. They are found in the form of ore. The minerals are found in the form of ore, particularly the metallic minerals. What is an ore? An ore is the natural accumulation of metals or valuable minerals in a concentrated form, along with several impurities. What is an ore? It is a natural accumulation of metals or valuable minerals in a concentrated form. Particularly, they are mixed with impurities and they are found as a rock. They are in the pure forms obtained after separating these from the ores. Metals can be separated from the ore. For example, aluminium is derived from its ore. Which is that ore of aluminium? Bauxite. Hematite is the ore from which iron is derived. These are the ores, name of the ore from which we can get that particular mineral. These minerals are obtained from the ore. Ore means the rock, in suppose this is an ore, okay, and it has the contents of iron or copper or bauxite. What do? We remove the impurities and we take the metal or mineral. Next, zinc blends gives zinc, and galena yield from galena what do we get? Lead, and cassiterite provides us tin. The process of separating metals from ores by the use of heat is called smelting. How can we separate the metal and ore? Do you know? By smelting. What is smelting? It is a process of melting the metal by giving heat. If you continuously give heat energy, what will happen? These metals will melt. That process is known as smelting. And the metals can be divided into two as precious, not into two parts, they can be divided into 5 parts. Okay, they are precious metals like gold and silver, ferrous metals like iron and manganese. Ferrous means which have iron content. Non-ferrous metals like copper and lead, which do not have any iron content. Light metals like aluminium, which are very light. And rare metals like zirconium, they are very rarely found on the earth. Clear now? These are the 5 groups of metallic minerals. Clear now? It means that these are a large varieties of metal, large varieties of minerals are metallic minerals. It means metallic minerals are more valuable than non-metallic minerals. Now we can use these metals, these metallic minerals in different ways. Either we can use it as a single one. Iron can be used, or gold can be used, or aluminium can be used as a whole. Otherwise, there is another option. What is that? Making alloy. What is an alloy? Alloy means a mixture, mixing other metals or a non-metallic mineral. We can use a metal and other metal or non-metal can be mixed with it and we get a new substance. That new substance is known as alloy. For example, we can mix copper and tin. Copper and tin can be mixed together, then what will we get? We will get bronze. That is an alloy. How can we obtain brass? Brass is an alloy. Brass is used to make bells and all, church bells and bells in the temples. Okay, and there are many items. Shoppies items are made with brass. This brass is an alloy. How is it made? We mix zinc with copper, then we can make brass. Clear now? This is about metallic minerals. Next is non-metallic minerals. Non-metallic minerals include phosphate, potash, salt, silica, diamond, sand, gravel. All these have their own characteristics. They are not found in the form of metals. They are found in the other forms. Like salt. Salt doesn't occur in the metal form. No. Silica, diamond, it is in the stone. It is in the form of stone. So in the other forms, other than the metallic form, some minerals occur and they are known as non-metallic minerals. Have you understood? We have learned about the definition of minerals and classification of the minerals. Now we are moving to a process by which minerals can be taken out. What is it known as? Mining. What is mining? The extraction of commercially valuable minerals from the earth is called mining. What is mining? Extraction of these valuable minerals from the earth. You know that these minerals are found under the deep surface of the earth, deep under the surface of the earth. That process of taking out the mineral is called as mining. Clear now? What we have to do that? The surface area has to be cleared for that. If it is a forest, cut down the forest, clear that area, then only we can dig the ground to get the mineral. Clear now? There are some mineral which are nearer, closer to the surface, but there are some mines which are very deep. Okay, mines like a quarry from where we take out the place, from where we take out these stones and all. They are open pit mine. They are nearer to the surface, close to the surface of the earth. Okay, we don't have to go very deep into the earth for a quarry. But for mine like iron ore mine or coal mine or gold mine, for that we have to go very deep to the earth. Minerals occur widely in the rocks, but they will not take out till they are occurred in high concentrations, and if they are not available easily, we should access them very easily, then only we will move on to extract them. Otherwise we will keep it them there only, we will not take them because it will be too expensive for us to take it out. Clear now? So mining is limited to some sites where the minerals are or mineral ores are occur in large and extractable quantities. Suppose mineral is found near to the surface of the earth and it is very large composition, we will dig it. In the other place, suppose minerals are there but in very less composition concentration and they are very deep under the surface, what will happen? We will not extract them because it will not be economically accessible to us. Okay, now we will learn about the sources of minerals. The reserves of minerals are closely associated with the type of rocks and the underlying geological structure of a region. The reserve, how the minerals are formed there, that is related to the geological structure of that particular region. Gold, silver, lead are found as ores in the narrow lodes or veins in the igneous or metamorphic rocks. Where is gold and silver found? They are found in the igneous or the metamorphic rock in the lode or vein, in the form of lode or vein. Next is limestone, chalk and clay. They are occurred in the sedimentary rock in the form of layers. Gold and diamond may also occur as alluvial deposits in the sands and gravels of riverbeds. These are called placer deposits because they get deposited in the riverbeds. Then ocean also has some quantities of minerals, but they are not economically viable. But there are some minerals which are economically viable, like petroleum. We take it out from Mumbai High petroleum. We have a huge mine there, oil field there, that is known as Mumbai High. Now you have understood the sources. Okay, now let us see the distribution of important minerals in the world. It has been distributed all over the world. Somewhere it is very high, it has very high concentration, somewhere it has medium or low concentration. Iron, first of all we are moving to iron. It is a basic mineral for industrial development. It is known as the backbone of the industrial development of the country, because without iron we cannot have industrial development in a country. All the agricultural and industrial tools are made of iron. Means of transport, building, bridge, all are made of iron. It means iron is the most useful metal in this world. Got it? Yes. According to the content of metal in the iron, this iron ore is of 4 types: hematite, magnetite, limonite and siderite. Okay, but out of them hematite is the best ore. At least 30% metallic content is required for profitable mining. You should say that magnetite has the best quality, but it cannot be accessible and affordable to us. That is why we move to hematite. Hematite is the quality which is used in a large quantity all over the world. Okay, nearly 90% of the iron ore is found in 10 countries. There are 10 countries where most of the iron deposits are found. What are they? Russia, India, Brazil, USA, France, Canada, China, Great Britain, Sweden and Venezuela. These are the countries, 10 countries where near about 90% of the total iron ore deposits are found. The best iron ore in Europe comes from Sweden. According to annual production, China, Brazil, Ukraine, Australia, Russia, India, USA, Canada and South Africa stand in the descending order. So India comes at which place? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th place. India is at the 6th place in the annual production. Okay. India produces nearly 5% of the iron ore in the world. Okay, India is not standing very back. We are producing 5% of the iron ore to the world. Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Karnataka, Odisha, Goa, Tamil Nadu, etc. are the major iron producing states of India. These are the states in the Deccan Plateau. We are getting iron ore from India. Got it? So moving ahead. Yes, you have understood a lot now. Okay, I'm not so fast, I think. Okay, you are getting me? Right. What is this? This is what iron ore deposits. See, iron ore deposits have been seen in these countries. India also have a good deposit of iron ore. Got it? Yes. Now we will move on to manganese. Manganese is used in manufacturing strong steel. From iron we make steel. Okay, and this steel, when we prepare steel, when we make steel by using iron, we have to add manganese. Reserves of manganese are found in China, South Africa, Australia, Ukraine, Gabon, Brazil, India, Kazakhstan, Mexico, Ghana, etc. In India, where is it found? Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, Maharashtra, Jharkhand, Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka. They are the states which lie in the Deccan Plateau. Okay, what is the use of manganese? Used in manufacturing the strong steel. Next one we are moving is copper. Copper is an important metal used in the electrical industries, cable, utensil, coin, implement, etc. The major user of copper is electrical industries for making wires and all. Okay, where is copper found in the world? Chile, USA, Indonesia, Canada, Australia, Peru, Poland, Mexico, Zambia, South Africa, Papua New Guinea. But India is deficient in copper, means India has very few reserves of copper in our country. A small amount is mined in Jharkhand, Rajasthan, Andhra Pradesh, etc. Very small amount of copper is mined in our country, but we are having a good deposits of iron ore and manganese in the country. Next is bauxite. I told you bauxite is obtained from ore. What is that? Sorry, bauxite is the ore from which we get aluminium. Okay, aluminium is an important metal during this age because it is a good conductor of heat and electricity. It is lightweight, and as a result, it is used in making cable, domestic appliances, utensils, furniture, automobile, and even the aeroplanes also are made of aluminium. Okay, bauxite is the ore of aluminium. It is found in Australia, Guinea, Jamaica, Brazil, Hungary, Ghana, Suriname, Yugoslavia, Russia, Kazakhstan, Greece, Ukraine, British Guiana, France and India. And where are the deposits of bauxite in our country? It is found in Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, etc. These are the places where we get bauxite from in our country. And this extraction of aluminium, I told you aluminium is extracted from bauxite, and this extraction is done using electrolysis smelting process. There is a particular way of processing that is known as electrolysis smelting process. Okay, it requires large amount of electrical energy, therefore aluminium is manufactured mostly in developed countries. It needs electrical energy, that is why it is manufactured in the developed countries. Now we are moving to the next topic, that is conservation of minerals. Now we have discussed about some of the minerals, important minerals in the world: iron, manganese, copper and bauxite, which is very much useful in many of the industries in the world. Now let us see conservation of minerals. Mineral resources are limited, but their demand is increasing day by day as the number of industries and the number of houses, number of buses, number of machineries increase. The demand of the minerals is also increase. Developed countries with 16% of the world's population consume disproportionate amount of mineral resources. The developed countries have only 16% of the population, but they consume large share of the mineral resources. Like the USA, the Western Europe, Japan, they consume about 70% of the aluminium, copper and nickel extracted from the earth. 70%. They are having very less population, but their consumption of mineral is very high. The existing mineral reserves cannot fulfill the growing demands. So what to do? We need to find substitutes and save mineral resources. What should we do? We should find some substitutes so that we can save the mineral resource, because the speed of the formation of the mineral and the speed of the use of mineral, there is no relation between them. Speed is very high in case of its use, but the speed of formation is very slow. It is very slow process. Recycling, how can we conserve them? Recycling of used or discarded metals like aluminium is an effective measure of conservation. We can either recycle or we can reuse the minerals. Minerals also can be conserved by using efficient methods of mining and processing. As a result, we can save the wastage. Clear? So what did we learn today? First of all, we defined the term mineral, then we classified the minerals, then we learned about mining, we learned the sources of minerals, from where do we find or get minerals, then we learned about distribution of different minerals on the earth. What are the minerals? Iron, manganese, copper and bauxite. Finally, we discussed about the conservation of minerals. So that's all for today, I think, no? Okay, otherwise you will get bored. I'm going to wind up today. Tomorrow we will start with energy resource. Okay, shall I wind up? Yes. So today I'm signing off. As usual, what should I say? Stay home and stay safe. Take care. Bye.